Welcome back. So once again, I'm using these Jerry's Artorama Jumbo Jet Black. They're essentially a Conte crayon for the you artists, a Conte crayon in pencil form. They interact, I think, very well with both acrylics and oil. Started using them about a year ago, and I can't tell if this is a phase I'm going through or if it's something I'm going to do for the rest of my life. But just this afternoon, earlier episode, Daily Art Adventure 175, I think, you can see some of my portraits that I did some time ago. And I hadn't seen them in 6 months or so. And they had pencil in them. And I found the effect quite fetching with some degree of objectivity. So I think I'm going to keep on. All right, let me turn you around. Hello, ma'am. Can you tell what I'm doing? Painting down the street that way. By the way, I don't know if you can hear that music or not. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. I think this is music that YouTube will not. Get touted. Made me sound like a million bucks. amazing wind, and I'm sorry I know you can't hear me very well. Just, that was a 40-mile-an-hour gust there, I'm sure. Maybe I shouldn't even try to broadcast. About drawing some automobile shapes in here. Night of every month is a highlight. All the galleries will be open, restaurants. It was just a busier night downtown, so I always like to be here on the first Friday whenever possible. I think that might be enough. The pencil stuff. I'm going to break out a few smaller brushes now. And do some of my favorite color, dark black. B-L-E-C-K, black. Dark black. Stuff that I'm putting on right this minute is all considerably too dark. Not to worry. I'm going to come back in a minute and scratch it. Scratch it. Scratch with the butt end of the brush. Sorry for the wind noise if you can't hear me. Let me see if I can cup my hand over it just for a second. It's at this point that I'm changing my style, not my style, my process. Changing my process because I stumbled on something 3 days ago when I was out here painting on the 4th of July. Normally at this point I would go to my final stage, final layer, which is light opaque highlights. But the other day, I won't bore you with the details, but I stumbled on accidentally doing a translucent layer at this point. And I liked the effect so much that I'm going to do it again here. Translucent, of course, means you can see through it, but it's not transparent. It's like fuzzy, foggy, cloudy. Okay, translucent. So I'm going to try that again today and see if I like it again. Before I do that, I need to clean off my palette. I don't have enough room here to work, so I've got a razor blade, knife, and a glass palette. There's no perfect palette solution. Every different option has drawbacks, but at the moment, the glass palette, and I should say for the last probably 10 years, glass palette has been my favorite. I've used up all my purple, so let me get in here and add some more purple, and I'll do it. And it's time for white as well. So, and if you've missed this in the past, my white is always an alkyd. See this word right here, ALKYD. That means it's fast drying oil paint. Oil paint with an alkaline dryer in it, so it dries faster. And almost all my titanium whites for the last 4 or 5 years have been alkyd titanium white, so it dries faster. So I can apply a thick layer, thick daubs of it without it taking a month or more to dry. Which is literally what happened 4 or 5 years ago. I did a painting where I had a good bit of impasto at the latest stages. That is thick, a lot thick. It looks great. Literally took 6 weeks to dry. So that convinced me to okay, so now I'm thinking about translucent. So a little bit of white, of course, right? That's the fog, that's the translucent part. With a little bit of liquid, so it's not too opaque. And I'm going to start with some knows my technique, then you know that normally at this point I would be coming in with pretty opaque stuff, opaque blue, for instance, in the sky. And instead of that, based on my experience the other day, I'm coming in and scumbling in. Scumbling is a word that means when you take an opaque paint and apply it very thin. Dry brush is another word for this. In watercolor, this is called dry brush technique. So I'm just covering it with a thin mist or fog of pale blue. And I felt the other day like it gave me just that little extra atmospheric perspective that I've really been looking for a long time and not sure how to achieve. So I was quite happy with that little discovery. Like everything else, it remains to be seen whether it's a permanent part of my, whether it's a permanent shift, temporary growth detour. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's my job to paint today. I can't paint the future. All I can paint is today. The future will I've still got my traditional last layer to go. Traditional last layer is light opaque highlights. Opaque being the keyword there. So these are light translucent highlights. Sense of atmospheric perspective by fogging in these things that are far away. Does that make sense? You know what I mean by fogging them in? Just taking this pale blue color that I've got here, simply scumbling on top of what's already there. And of course, when my scumbling runs into these dark details, it makes quite a mess. I have the option not to do it if I want to, but if I do, I have to just come back and clean up my mess, that's all. It's okay to make a mess when you're painting, just don't pretend that you're not making a mess. Does that make sense? Keep using your eyes and say, yes, I'm making a mess. And I will need to do something about that. Painting along, making messes, and they seem to pretend that they don't notice that their brushes are. And by mess, I mean when your brush picks up what's already there. A la prima painting. When you're painting wet and wet, you can paint wet and wet, of course. It's just a different ballgame than painting on dry. Dry is easier, but wet is different. That's all. It's not harder. It's just different. You just have to acknowledge that yes, you are making a mess, and you're going to clean it up one way or the other in a minute. Yeah, see, so in the past I've often had too much harshness, too much hardness on my distance. Up a pale, get away from the blue for a moment. Mix up a pale, warm tone. Right now I've got all this gray. Ooh. There's something really nice happening on the building now. You know what? I'm going to try to catch it before it disappears. It's reflection off a building onto another building. The back side of this building is reflected onto this building right here. And it's very fetching. Can I use that word? Very fetching effect. And so I want to see if I can capture it here. Yeah. And a little bit of the same thing right here. Backside of this building. Capitol building, push the whole thing back right now. And this warm gray, you push all of this into the street. You see what I'm doing? I feel like that's a little too much. I'm going to put it in with a brush and just smudge that out and then remove some of that. Okay, that's alright. wider than that. And I would like less paint on my brushes. So here, definitely emulating an evening sky, right? Anatomy of evening sky, the anatomy of a sunset. If you understand how a sunset works and why it looks the way it looks, it helps you very much in painting a sunset, because the easiest way to paint a sunset is to paint it in the same layers that are in the sunset itself. What's the most common color in a good sunset? The answer is brown. That answer will require some explanation. And I'll give it to you someday. Maybe not today. That probably is worth a dedicated YouTube video. Anatomy of a sunset. I think we've done it one time. Somebody take a look. Tell me if I was strawberries. No, I don't think it is. It's somewhere, but it's not on. Okay, so I'm still uploading my new
Pressure and make a lot of money. Never had a job.
that I'm calling layer of translucent reality. Colors applied very thinly and somewhat messily a word? In a messy manner, in other words. Messily. Applied messily. Would you like me to say that one more time? If you irritate, just fire up. But anyway, so you see how soft my edges are. I feel like that's part of this new layer, is the soft edges. Really good for indicating, of course, atmospheric perspective, which in times past has been a weakness of mine. I may have just figured out how to remedy that weakness. And it is by adding a dance step to my process. The dance step being a very, very intentional, very conscious translucent layer, which is what I'm doing right now. Warm white, dull yellow, if you will, on this building right here. Now here's one of the principles that I am following very much with this layer right here. I don't know if it's a breakable law of painting or if it's just a trick, but the trick is whenever you're painting a glowing object, as I am painting the front of this building glowing. Let me let you take a peek down the street here so you can see what it is I'm painting. Let me zoom in here real quick. Yep, sorry about the wind. Sorry about the wind, y'all. Okay, I can't really get the camera to see what my eyes are seeing. If I go in close, all you see is detail. if I back out, the front of that building becomes the same color as the sky. See that? Did you see the front of that building disappear? Look at that. That, my friend, shows you the weakness of photography. Whew. But when I look at it with my naked eye, there goes one of my art friends. The front of that building, this building here, is glowing. So when you paint a glowing object, here's the rule. You paint the glow first, then the object that's glowing. Let me take a classic example, a candle. If you're painting a candle, you paint the glow around the candle. If you're painting a lighthouse, you paint the glow around the lighthouse first, and then you paint the little pinprick of light.
How's my buddy doing?
Hey man, good to see you. Are you stopping for the evening? You just grabbed by.
Huh? No, I'm Ubering today.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Good for you. Good to see you.
Yeah,
Good to
you
see you.
too.
Vertical.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. I love your stuff. Everything
Looks
you see.
good.
Thank you.
Been here for a while, hey?
Yeah. That's right. See you, Steven. Stephen Herzog. When you watch what a professional does with a camera, go look him up on Facebook, Stephen Herzog. See what he does, and you think, oh, I'm just a hack, aren't I? Yeah, I am. Fuzz first, then the point. Watch me for long, you'll see me do that. Oh, I've got to use a bigger brush for this for sure. or less. Okay. Okay. Hello.
I can hardly talk. I see you.
Did you?
And I was trying to see what you were talking about. That is awesome.
Thank you. Sorry about your voice.
I've been having a great time last night. But now they got catching a cold.
Oh my goodness. Well, yeah, be sure to rest up.
That is awesome.
Thank you very
I
much.
wish I knew. I can't even draw a stick.
Yeah, that's what most people say. That's the common line. I assiduously avoid stick figures.
I can't. But I like that.
Did you?
That is what I have.
I'm not even done. It'll look better in a bit. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, this is a good place for me to stop, and I'll be back in a little bit.